It is Thursday, my dudes, which means it's time for more Haskell. Apologies if there's a lot of fan noise. I am compiling Haskell packages in the background, hoping to be done by the time I start. I think last week I spent like 15 minutes waiting for it to build persistent. I'm trying to get that to finish before we begin today. So, plan for today is to pick up the servant app I was working on. At the moment, it lets you create environments and then bookings on those environments, and it stores them using what do you call it? STM. So it stores some TVARs just in memory. So when you restart the server, it's wiped all of its data and you got to start again. I've done a bit of playing with Postgres and Haskell, both with Postgres simple and then with persistent. So the plan for today is to go back to the booking app and add the Postgres support in there so that we can persistently store data, I guess. So I think there might be a couple of challenges. One is I very briefly looked at persistent last time, and I want to do a bit more with it and hopefully get it working with Postgres. Another challenge might be working out how to feed the database connection through the servant app. I'm hoping it's straightforward because I currently feed through the in-memory database, so I'm hoping it's as straightforward as that. But I'll see. I got some concerns about that. It's finished compiling, so we're looking good. And there's concerns for it. I think it's going to be fine. Apart from that, everything will be great. It's going to be a lot of rewriting code, a lot of looking up how persistent works. I think I'm going to go down a persistent route because I really like the idea of having the type system and the scheme in the database be generated from the same definition. I'm a little bit skeptical about using an ORM or an ORM-like thing, but I'm interested enough in this idea of the additional safety to start looking at that. Okay, cool. So given it's compiled everything, let's start taking a look. It's a little bit small. Let's make it big enough for streaming. Okay, so I've added these three libraries to my cabal file. So we've got persistent. I've added persistent SQLite because it might be a little bit easier to get going in that. I don't know yet. And I've added persistent PostgreSQL as well, which hopefully is the right package to let me talk to Postgres. Perhaps the first thing to do is maybe get Postgres running. Like, not much point trying to connect to it. The database isn't there. So, not there actually. I might just create a new Docker Compose and stick it into there. So we go on the root. Oops. Docker Compose.yaml. I did this before, so I should be able to just copy the definitions out of there. I can never remember the syntax for a Docker Compose file, and I guess I never write them from scratch. So where would it have been? I think it was in Posty. There, okay, this Docker Compose. So let me just grab all of the file, oops, including this line. And I should just paste in there. Okay, cool. So we just use a standard Postgres image. I don't really care which one it is. Password is set to password. That's a pretty good secure thing. These are the ports. This is how I said before. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so this creates the Postgres user, but it doesn't create the database or the user that I'm going to use for my application. So I'll run this. I'll bring up the database and I'll create a new user. I remember I did that last time, and then I can use that user for creating for the connection, basically. So if Docker is still running. Docker is indeed running, that's cool. So I should be able to see Docker goes up. Hopefully. And look at that. It's up and running. New terminal. So I say this and the user is Postgres and database with Postgres, and the password is super secure password. Cool. So can I find the create user? Is it something like create user? This is going to be called bookie. Identified by, remember. Oh, actually, I gotta look through the history because it's all these ones. Okay, cool. I'll just do the same thing. So I'll create a user called bookie. It's not could identified by, but I don't know. Let's say create database bookie. Oops. It's not going to work. And then grant. Oh, it's not going to search the history for me. All privileges on bookie.start bookie. No, I copied the wrong line there. On database bookie, that was how you did it. To bookie. Okay, and then finally it's something like alter user. I'll copy that line as well, to be honest, because I'll probably get it wrong if I try to remember it. There we go. This is alter user bookie and then just password. It's probably a quick way of doing all of this, but I set up Postgres databases so rarely it's not really worth remembering everything. Okay, so I should, oops, again, should now be able to connect as bookie, and the password is bookie. Okay, and surely there are no databases here. There's nothing in here at all. Cool. Okay, so now I should be able to get persistent to set up some stuff, like a couple of tables, I guess, and maybe put some data in there as well. So if I go to my, have I got a database file? I do. Okay, this is going to become very different. So we'll leave everything in place that used to be there, I think, but we're going to import persistent. It's not persistent, is it? It's data.persistent. I'm going to go and look on the web page and find out how to do it. I need all this stuff as well, don't I? It's actually quite a lot of things. So I'll do that, but I'll pull in not a SQLite, but something else. Okay, so I'll take my language extensions and stick them at the top. Okay, and then we pull in these things, and we will change this to be, I'm hoping we can do Postgres. Cool, and we don't need an extra blank line there. Okay. So it's still running, I think. We're not using these things yet, but we're about to use them. Okay, so now I'm going to create my model somewhere. So let's go for this stuff. Okay. So it says in SQL settings, migrate, and we'll still call it migrate all. That seems to be fine. But we don't have people and blog posts. So we're going to have environments, which has got a name, which is a string. I'm just going to quickly open the DAO where I've got the definitions of these things. So environment, the ID we'll get for free. It's got a name, which is a string, and it's got a status. I wonder how to do this kind of data type. I think status might just have to be a string. But we'll find out. So I do go for free, and then status also a string. I wonder, I get a feeling that reformatting, I get the feeling that persistent is going to create records from this. So I think part of the templating is it's going to turn this into a record that I can use. I wonder how it deals with the sort of record namespace problem, because the fields of a record get turned into functions to access those things, and those functions are scoped to the module, so they clash quite a lot. That's why we have silly names here like m by d and m status. At some point I'm going to start looking at Haskell 9.2 where I can use the record dot syntax, but not yet. So I'm going to try and call them name and status, but this might lead to problems later on. We got bookings as well, and this special type, which is the environment with the booking information, but I won't do those yet. So let's just go for that. I need another language extension. So it needs data kites, it needs all of these. Deriving strategies, flexible instances, standalone deriving, and undecidable instances. Good stuff. Oh, and multi-parameter type classes. Wow. Okay, so just all of these. Okay, ignoring the reformatting for a second. We should have everything we need now to do the migration. I think I want to export migrate all from this, because if I go back to here, it's got run migration, migrate all, so I'll need to export migrate all. This is going to be a little bit weird. I think because migrate all doesn't exist at this point. Oh, not there. Migrate all will get generated at some point, but I don't know what happens if I just try and export it. Oh no, it's fine with it. I thought it would complain because I haven't defined it, but it's smart enough to know that it's defined in here. Okay. So the next question, I guess, is I'm a bit tempted to start with SQLite just because there's an example already here to do that. We can kind of get it working with SQLite, and then we can look at doing it in Postgres. In the main function of my servant app, I guess I want to do this. But I guess I want to do everything, and that's not really going to work. So the servant app is going to run and handle connections and requests, and then we'll call them my handler functions. And at some point I want to be able to pull data out of the database. And I can't run the whole thing under this run SQLite memory function, run SQLite function. I don't think I can run all of servant under this function. And even if you could, I don't see how it would evaluate the handler in the context of this function of this monad. So let's have a look and see how we do persistent and servant. This is a little bit old. Just quickly scan it, see what we're doing here. So we did migrations, I guess that's fine. And then in the API, I put in persistent here. Yeah, I don't care about the servant bit. I want to see this. No. Here. Okay, so calling run db. So are they importing run db from here? They are not. So is run db a helper that they've written? I'm trying to read this very quickly without stopping it. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. It takes a query, it gets the pool back, and then it runs SQL pool. So it looks like there's some kind of connection pool it's got access to. It says asks here, so I'm guessing that their main type has got a reader with some pool in it. I don't know what the connection pool looks like. The type connection pool. Okay. And then, sorry, going back up to the main, they got this make pool. Oh, which comes from config. I go back and look it up. Okay. That's where they're setting the pool. Okay. So where's make pool? I don't necessarily need a pool, like a single connection would do. So just skim past it, sorry. I'll get there in a second. No. Make pool, define there, and use there, and there's no definition of it, but they're pulling it in from config. That's annoying. Okay. Let me see if I can find a more recent thing as well, because I don't need I don't need a connection pool, I just need some kind of connection. Okay, so we updated to 0.7. Still this make pool stuff. Any idea what make pool looks like? Or maybe it's in the code. Right, we just look in here. So source config. A lot of stuff going on here. Make pool. Okay. I don't know what run cat p is. Create Postgresql can pool. Is there some kind of like create PostgreSQL connection? I wonder. Oops. So in here, it's all about using it and creating the different types and so on, but collect runs and single transaction. No. I don't really want to run it in memory. I just want to get a connection back. I don't really want to see how queries. It's all about the connections for me. Okay. In fact, instead of jumping there, let's go straight into the Postgres. I guess. Let's go back and represent the handle or connections to the database. It's not thread safe, okay. So that used the MOOC SQL backend function. And the args for this I don't know what these arguments are about. It doesn't look right. And for a SQL backend. This does not look like the thing that I want. Okay. So these look like, none of them look like connection related. That looks like how you implement new backend. So can we look for persistent Postgres? Any documentation on this? Okay, so we got with Postgres pool, which takes a connection string and a number of connections. Action to be executed that uses the connection pool. Right side action. Okay, so that's not quite right. So that's for running a single action with a pool, or in like creating a connection pool and then running an action. This is probably the right thing. So create Postgres pool, give a connection string, and one connection to be kept open. And it should give me back I guess a pool that I can use. What else have we got in there? I think this is the right thing. Let's give it a go anyway. So create Postgres pool. We'll try that. So rather than using SQL at all, or SQLite, sorry, at all, I want to create a connection pool. So let's try and just do this in main. Main? Down here. Okay, cool. So, we have this idea of initializing the DB, so maybe we could do something slightly different, which is like connect or connection pool. So connection pool. I'm not quite sure what type that is. What does I copy? No, I only copy create connection pool. I didn't copy its type. The type of this. So I'm not going to pass in the connection string or the number of connections. I'll let the function just hard code those for now, or get the environment or something. But I probably want these. Okay, so what are we going to take? We're not going to take anything, but we're going to return M, and then whatever the type of that was, oops, something like pool SQL backend. Obviously, it's my responsibility to create a closed connection pool when unneeded. Okay, I will need it forever, I think. Okay, let's pop that in there. No, I will not pop it in there. Okay. So let me say connection pool is this. But we need to then give it the connection string and the number of connections. So the number of connections is 1. The connection string, I had an example of this in Posty. A second, so with Posty, this is structured. I've got a source directory. Yep. Source and then main simple. Somewhere here, I think. Okay, cool. So that's the kind of connection I'd like to store, but anyway, maybe we can do something similar. So we should be able to say, nope, that does not select stuff between quotation marks. Do it. Okay, so pop it in there, and it's not going to be posty, it's going to be bookie at localhost, and that. Okay. So what are my errors here? Should be able to put in mono. Oh, thought we should be able to put in mono unlift IO. Don't know what logger IO was about. I don't want to import foreign pool. I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's not letting me pull in pool from persistent. Okay, let me go back to this example. So they're just returning IO connection pool. I mean, IO is probably the way to go. Connection pool, where is that defined? Connection pool comes out of persistent PostgreSQL. Okay. So let's go back here for a second. So we pulled in persistent. Oh, we have got persistent Postgres. Okay, cool. So we won't worry about the unlift IO and the logger. We should just be able to use or M in this case will be IO of connection pool. Okay, no instance. Okay, so just using IO is not the answer. So IO does not implement monad logger IO. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can give it a better type. I think this. Oh, I see. So in this example, they're defining monad logger. Okay, I could try just doing this, I guess. It won't be in apt_tm, it'll be in... don't know what it'll be in. I don't know what my actual... I don't know where I'll be using it yet. I don't know what this run cat_t stuff does. But okay, this is building the connection string. Okay, let me just try defining an instance of monad logger. It doesn't work. I'm a little bit tempted to switch to PostgreSQL simple. Just getting it going. Okay. So monad logger will come from, that came from control monad. Does it come from logger? Control monad logger. Why did it not do that for me? Not gonna find control monad logger. Wonder if that's because it's not in base, or maybe not in prelude. Monad logger. Maybe it is not in base then. Okay, so where does this come from? Go back up one. Go and look in the cabal file. And there should be something about monad logger. Yes, monad logger is another library. Okay. So if I go back to my cabal file, I'll add monad logger. Okay, I need to make this compilable somehow. I guess I could comment that out. How do you comment stuff out? Not like that. That's it. Okay, and then here. Hopefully this will be compilable. What's my error from? Errors because it can't import control monad logger. Although it can now. Wow. not really what I expected my error to be. Okay, I think the language server might have crashed a bit. I'll just do a cabal build. Did I want to do cabal build? Probably meant to stack build, but this should do something. It's doing a bad thing. Okay, it's going to recompile everything. Please stop. It will not stop. Maybe I'll just let it go because I have no choice. I don't do this. I think I should use stack build so it grabs the stuff from stackage. Come on. Why don't it work? Kill it hard. Okay. Don't know what state that's left it in. Let's try stack build because that's already cached most of the libraries I'm using, so it should be a much faster installation. It didn't download and install anything, so maybe control monad logger was available somewhere, but I had to also import it. Who knows? Okay, so can I now do this? I can. Okay, but it's not going to be app.tm. So I do have a type from my application, I think, somewhere. So I might need to move this out of here. And if I just switch to main, do you have a type? Maybe not. Can I just ditch app T? I just put print or something for now. Oh goodness. Okay. So what's the type of monad logger log? It's location log source log level message M. A lot of things. Here we go. So it was location. I forgot already. Location source level message. Okay, it can't work out what M means. Not sure what's the type of message. Oh, it's just message. Oh, this is really not the problem I wanted to be solving. So maybe, I mean, is this, can I get rid of not doing this? Let's try and find some other examples of create Postgres pool. No, that's just a source. Oh, this is annoying. So persistent create Postgres pool example. Anything in here that looks useful? And a runner function. Structure and pools. That's what I wanted. Oh, what's a specialized pool? So much effort. This is not feeling good. Okay, I might backtrack a bit and give up on persistent for now, because I don't think I'm going to get this working. So I'm not going to get all this loveliness. Okay, which means I can then ditch persistent, no, here. Ditch those, ditch logger. Probably ditch lift.io. I don't think I'm using that anywhere else. We'll get rid of migrate all. We'll get rid of all of the language extensions, including data kinds. Oops. Okay, kind of back to where it was. Go back to the cabal file and let's go Postgresql simple. Stack build. So I'm going to lose my schema management. But maybe I'll get some simplicity back. Okay, so just jump back to main for a second. I'm running the app and it takes a DB. And how do you use the DB there? So appm booking. This is what I was looking for before. I did have an appm. Damn it. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so this is where I'm defining my application. If I'd found that a second ago, I might have been in a better place. Because this is where I could define the monad logger instance, but I don't know how to write the monad logger instance, so maybe it's not that much help. Okay, so I'm going to, instead of doing a DB as well as doing a DB, some kind of more interesting state object. So like app config, I don't know what to call this, is app config. I'm gonna get some warnings going here, but DB is of type DB, and we just say something like DB connection is of type whatever comes back from that connection function in PostgreSQL simple. Let's jump into here a second. This is an IO connection. Is that right? Connects that, takes a byte string, which I guess is a connection string, turns an IO connection. Okay. I'm just going to fill that in as well. Oops. Oh, what was that key? I pressed something and it lowercased it. Don't know. Okay. Oh, whatever that key is. What is that key? It's a quote character. Interesting. Okay, just learned something about my my VS Code plugin. So this was an IO connection. I'm going to get upset about that. So let me import that. Okay. And then instead of passing in a DB here, I can pass an app config. This is going to make a lot of things upset. So can I say asks DB? Ooh, that's the correct syntax. Okay, star, no, end star, next, next, next. I'll just fix these while they're on screen. So asks the DB. Right. Right. What is going on here? So we get run reader T, X, where X is my appm A, and S is the DB. Okay, so I cannot say run reader T and then just pass in DB here. This is going to have to be some kind of app config. Okay, and likewise here, it's going to have to be some app config. Down here, we can't do this, so we'll get the DB, but we'll also get the connection, and that's going to be, so I'm going to connect to Postgres, PostgreSQL, and the byte string, so this is, I keep forgetting the syntax of this, it's this thingy. But I'll change the username and password. There. And so next, cookie. Okay. What's its problem here? Byte string of that. So is it going to offer it? No, it doesn't offer it. Paste in there, so type operators, it's overloaded strings, I think. Okay, so I have my DB in my connection, but I'm passing an app config, I think it was constructor, and we've given it DB is DB, con is con. Not con, it's something connection. What do I call it? dbcon. Good. Not at all confusing. Okay. Couldn't match type out connection with connection. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so because we are in the IO monad here, this is going to maybe make it a bit better as well. So just connection, and then I'm going to run it basically inside the IO monad later on. Quick test, do we still compile? I haven't used my database yet. I've just spent a lot of time failing to get it to work. Now, it's because I added it to main. Okay, so in my cabal file, I added it to the library, but I didn't add it here. And this is where main is coming from. Copy that, we'll do it. Linking it, I guess that's kind of cool. Okay, so now we want to use it. So if we take one of these actions, let's say get environment. I want something simpler. What's the simplest thing I have? Because it returns an environment with booking. I could maybe just make the bookings empty for a second. I just want a really simple, give an ID. Maybe list environments is the way to go. Okay. So DB list environments. Oh, I'm already lifting to IO, which is quite handy. It means I should be able to use my connection properly. So DB list environments, which is here, takes a DB object, oh, because I'm getting a DB here, right? Okay, so I could change it to take a connection object by asking for the dbcon. So now the first argument to list environment should be the DB connection. So here I should be able to say connection. And then fix that, please. Okay, and then we cannot destructure this like this. We don't have everything, so we can say, given our connection, and then I've forgotten how to use this thing. Was there a list? Yes, there was. Okay. This env thing, did I write the type class, define a type class in this? Ah, cool. Okay, so it derived from row and to row on this thing, so I need to do that as well on my DAO object. But if I derive those, then the definition of looking stuff up should be as simple as something like that. Good, can't copy. There we go, okay. So let's pull in query underscore, and then we have our connection. So get current time. I was trying to work out whether or not it's booked. Okay. I'm just going to comment all this out. I can't work out how to comment that. This is complaining because of lack of overload strings. So how do we type this? Is it that way around or is it way around? I can't remember. Let me just go into main for a second. Just copy it. It was that way around. Okay. So all of the strings. Okay, so now if we try and list the list of bookings, it should go and grab from the database. Sorry, list environments, it should go and grab from the database. And now there's no definition of from row. So we go into DAO. We should just be able to derive that. Where is it? Oh, I was there. We already have generic, and we should be able to do from row. I think that was one that was missing because we're not inserting it yet. And for that, Okay, can't make it. Add derive any class. That was not sufficient. What else does it need? Oh, environment status. Well, that's annoying. No instance of from row. Okay, I'm just going to quickly see if I'm missing length extension. So we've got derive any class, derive generic, and overloaded strings. Oops. Class deriving overloaded strings. Okay, so it's the same things, but just deriving from row is not going to work for status. And I can't derive it here because it can't derive environment status. So instance from row environment status where from row, and then what's the type of from row? Oh, that's annoying. What was the how did we implement from row before? I can't remember who did that. So Postgresql simple from row instance from row blah where instance from row environment status where oh so what okay. So now we have can we just return environment status? Can we just return booked or available? No. Couldn't match expected type row parser environment status with actual type environment status. Okay, so how was it doing this before? So in the example in the internet, oh, field, okay. Because field is special, isn't it? That's it, like a function. So special like a function. Field. So let's import it, and then we'll see what the type error is. What is the type of field? So it's a row parser. I kind of want to say if the field is booked, then set to booked, otherwise set to available. I'm not quite sure how we store this in the database. Type of from row. is row parser environment status. Can I just say, I don't know what row parser is, but can I just say pure available? Okay, getting there. Maybe getting there. From field, environment status. Okay, so maybe moving from row is useless. From field, environment status, where we just derive it. I don't think we can derive it. We can't spell it. That. No explicit implementation. Okay. So maybe we'll set up, so instance from field, environment status, where, and then from field, oops, is also pure available. I don't think I need from row because I don't think oh, what's type of from field? This might be better. From field parse environment status. Nope. Okay, I think I can get rid of this. We're never going to parse a row into environment status. I can't say pure available. Can't match environment status with maybe byte string. Okay, have we got an example from field? I can't click anywhere, that's really annoying. From field. So here we got F and M data. What's F? Is that the field name? Give me an example here. Field parser A converts SQL value to the Haskell value. So I don't know what F and M data are. I don't think I care about the type of the field. And then it unpacks M data into something. So maybe I could just properly could say something like F and M data. Oh, I mean that's enough, I guess. Code it properly. Can I say case M data of? I don't know if we can do so. I might need to unpack it first. So you say if it's boot, then pure boot. Otherwise, pure available. Oh, don't use otherwise. No, didn't mean to ignore that. That was the wrong thing to do. I just wanted to correct it. underscore. Okay. Now we can't use boot because maybe byte string. Okay, so if it is just boot, then we return boot, otherwise it's unavailable. Wow. Okay, so now we can derive from row. Okay, so now we go back to DB, so what we were doing before. This now lets us list environments in this way. So in theory, if I go and build this and run it, we won't have any data. So when we get environments back, it should be empty, and then we'll stick some data straight into the database. Oh, we did an error. How much type DB? I thought I'd fix that. List environments. We're getting dbcon. Should I save the file? Would that maybe make it happier? That does make it happier. Okay. So like stack run. It's just say running. Okay. So I find my JQ examples. So we'll just get the environments, listing the environments. No. Interesting. It's not great. Something went wrong. Yes, but what? That's really not the most helpful error I've ever seen. I'm guessing something somewhere to an exception. I think I would just put some V's near it and just say 500. Okay. Okay, so really the most unhelpful message. Okay, so it's possible our connection doesn't work. Bookie at localhost. Pretty sure that does work. Yep. Oh, there's no table. Right. Okay. So we can say create table environments. And what we're going to have, so we got an ID, which is a serial. We got name, which is a string, so varchar. Not nil. And we have the other thing is not actually going to come from the database, like the booking status. That should be calculated. So I will not add it in. Not null. Okay. Did that help? So that's better. Okay. Oh, so it didn't work because there's nothing in the database. Well, I guess that's good in a sense because it shows we're connected to the database. So let's go back here. Whoops. So you can say insert into environment, name, values, and then we'll just stick in test. We will not because we can't remember how to use databases. Okay, test, production, staging. Something wrong again. Okay. So we have, is it because these don't match the casing. Like, is there something wrong with the values coming back from the database? So if I just select, oops, star from environments. So you got ID and name here. And no, here we've got M by D and M status. Okay, so alter table environments, rename column. Wow, uppercase shouty column. ID 2. I don't know what happens after this. Yep. Rename ID to M by D. Semicolon. Okay. Lowercase m by d, but that might work. I don't know. That did not work. I'm just guessing when I'm thinking it's the name here. There's no like refactoring support for renaming things. Okay, so we just try to rename this to M by D. And then that's a lot of errors. But we should be kind of okay here, so we should be able to say end of that star, or actually just select them all. Do not just select them all. Okay, try again. End. Okay, no, undo that. Let's try this again. Just place it with lowercase. Save that. I think I got them all. The warning has gone away anyway. Okay, so terminals somewhere here. Oh, there's the error. Okay, cool. Okay, so the first error we had was the relationship. The environment didn't exist. I created that, and then it's got ID types incompatible, ID types compatible, and then M by D. Haskell error. Haskell type is text. Really? Oh. Yeah, because I thought my ID could be UUID or something like that. Okay. I'm going to put it back to where it was. So I think it was mapping M by D, okay. But this ID type is a string. So let's say, yeah, let's just turn it into an int. Okay, cancel that, recompile. I have 14 errors. This is not good. Okay, so should I? So there's a lot of converting things into strings. That's annoying. Okay. It's going to take a little bit of fixing. It's not that, it's that. Just show I. And what was I to counter? So it should be just I. From maybe. Okay, that's why it was, well, one reason the string makes sense, but I don't know what these things are. Okay. Back to terminal. Try running it again. I'll probably cause some damage to the old database, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, it says it's running. Something went wrong, but now I can go and look and see what went wrong. Okay. 2 values. Int form varchar. At least 3 slots in target type. Okay, so let's add this extra column, I think. Just to try and get it working quickly. A bit over time here. So we can say alter table, environments, adds. Alter environments, add column. Oh no! Let's see about the spinner. It must be cyber attacks or something. I'm glad I was at least distracting for a while, and thanks for watching along as much as you could. I did set the latency to ultra low latency, and maybe that's causing problems. So next week I'll change it back to the standard non-ultra version. Let's see if that helps. It was just wondering what this was called. I think it was mstatus. Try doing that. And I'll make it text, which will be a varchar. Okay, and then if I try and get it again, something went wrong. Varchar, mstatus, Haskell type is text. Message is that. Okay, if I change it to text, will it just work? Alter column mstatus type text. Give it one more try. If it doesn't work, I'll just come back to it next week. Something went wrong. SQL type text. Haskell type text. Okay, it's not that then. Look. So it's going to be some kind of t.unpack, I guess, which comes from data.text, I think. I could have made it UUID. B.unpack. That's what they had. Just go back here. So import that. And we will say unpack that. I couldn't load it. Why can you not load it? byte string. Okay, we go back to the compile file. I was going to stop, but I'm addicted to trying to get this to work now. And it was byte strings. One of those things where it feels close. See, this even compiles, and it so does it get rid of my errors. Yes and no. So this is a maybe type. Okay, so can we do that? Maybe. So we're going to apply unpack to whatever's inside the maybe, if it's there, and then we should be able to pattern match it against some kind of string. That's my hope. Okay. Something went wrong. My text tech is not working. Okay, I need to look at this in more detail maybe next time. So not a runaway success. Not quite sure to be persistent. I need to do some more reading on that, I guess, to look at the connection pool stuff. The Postgresql simple is close to working for listing stuff. I just had this problem getting this field out. I could try just dropping the field together from DAO. Maybe create separate models which represent what's in the database, and then we'll load those out of the database and then convert them into the DAO. That's probably the right way to go. But that's not going to be a quick thing, so I'm going to pick that up next week, hopefully. So thanks for watching along. If you were able to, hopefully the spinner will go away next time. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next week for some more database fun. Goodbye.